bro.
Yeah.
Like
it's like because and that's the thing when you see a beautiful one, you just like ain't nothing.
What's a beautiful vagina?
I don't know for me. For you talking about just for me or just in general?
Yeah.
I've seen ones that look like this is well put together.
I've seen. I guess it's hard to explain a pretty pussy, but like, but my thing is just like I guess not a whole bunch of labia sticking out, you know, like just hanging out. It's
so
like,
neat.
So like a little more reserved.
Yeah, and then like
but I like
understated.
it. Not, but also the puffy ones. The puff be looking.
The puffy.
Yeah.
The puffies.
the ditties.
The menorah.
You said kept saying the puffies, man. So to me, there's different ones. It's just like just somehow I literally saw it look like a whole bunch of pastrami hanging out. And I was just like, that looks crazy.
You not into that?
But
This is awful. I gotta cut all this.
No, you don't.
I gotta cut all
We're
this.
so far in the episode.
This is awful. Bro.
No,
It's not awful.
It's
Here's the thing.
inappropriate.
Here's the thing.
That's what it is.
Exactly. You don't cut the inappropriate stuff out.
Not the inappropriate podcast.
We're mildly inappropriate, nigga.
How do y'all? Okay, well then fuck it. How do y'all feel about the ones that have like the dyed tips?
The fuck is a dyed tip?
Like
mean
the
it's
edge,
dark-
like the edges be like
Oh, the crispy edges?
Crispy ass vagina. Crispy ass vagina. Crispy ass vagina.
We learned a new word today. Wait, let me get. First of all, we back. All right,
Gary Anderson.
Keon Foley.
Keenan back. Y'all know we gotta keep introducing ourselves for episode 7.
Because
right?
there be new people every time. It'd be
right.
just comedians talking shit with some
I'm
sense.
more than that,
But no sense.
But
Yeah.
he's just
Well,
a comedian.
You know you can put our name at the
I
bottom.
mean, we're
It's like,
fathers, we're husbands, we're all kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
and we all black.
Yeah, and we learn new words every day.
Oh, bro.
And Keenan dropped a new
So
word.
we talking. Me and Keenan talking.
I knew the word.
Hold on, hold on.
guessed.
We was talking about weight and fitness and working out. So Keenan was like, "Oh yeah, man, it's crazy that I haven't gained a bunch of weight, considering that I haven't worked out in a month. But calorically, I've been like on the low end." And I was like, "When'd you learn that word?" When'd you learn?
And then I came in and they said calorically. I was like, no. And we Googled it and calorically is a word.
It's a word.
Calorically was a word.
Calorically was what? But the thing is that he's been a calorie nigga his whole life.
Right. And he didn't know calorically was a word. He took a guess and he figured I got a 50-50 chance that this is a word.
I didn't fully take a guess because I know caloric is a word. And I know when you add, I learned in school, I know
In
when you
school.
add a "ly" in the back of anything, temporarily,
Normally.
absolutely, normally,
it works.
it works.
Normally it works.
So you add a "ly" on the end, you got another word.
You know, he got it right. Technically, he was right.
Yeah, technically.
You're
every
welcome,
day.
fellas. At
Learn
40
every day,
years
man.
old, y'all both learned a new word.
I'm always learning every day, man. If we're not learning every day, what are we doing?
Are you
We're not growing a little bit every day. What are we doing?
When I got to like a certain age, it might have been like around like 32, 33 years old. I was like, man, I'm happy that I'm learning a lot more new stuff.
My goal is to just be a little better every day. I don't
Right.
care if it's
Right.
with knowledge. I don't care if it's as a husband, father, friend, comic, whatever.
Yeah.
Just a little bit better than I was the day before. Because it's
Yep.
like, what's the point of peaking? What are we here for then? Then leave. Like,
I think you're
leave.
disregarding the fact that calorically we live different lifestyles.
We do calorically live different lifestyles.
We all three of us.
I
calorically
ate
live
a
different
sandwich
lifestyles.
today that I shouldn't have been eating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But our job is to think and explore things and explore ideas and concepts and turn those into something that's relatable and funny. So we're always searching for new information.
But knowledge removed.
Most people are just trying to get through the day.
Yeah, but knowledge removed. You're not even as a if you go to your 9 to 5, you come home as a husband and father. You're not
Yeah.
trying to be a little better at that every day.
No, you're just trying to prepare yourself for the next day, for the next
Oh,
9 to
nah,
5.
I need to be
Yeah.
better with
You
it
think
every
so?
day, man.
Yes. I don't think
ask the word
people-
out there.
No,
I don't
because
think-
my brother's a 9 to 5er, and who my brother was,
Hold on, which brother?
Keith.
Oh, he's a brain.
He's a smart ass.
Yeah. That's
But Kyron too. Kyron is actually father wise. I would say he's probably the best at all of us.
Oh, yeah?
As far as time and effort and like he's so into his kids. He's pretty much like F what I want to do. Like I'm into the kids.
He went full sacrifice.
He is in. I mean, he's still cutting hair.
My kids don't have that kind of talent.
I know Kyron's son out the gate was an athletic little dude out the gate.
It's so funny, bro. We went to see them this weekend, and I went to my niece's soccer game. You know, they all play club. They don't do rec no more. They play club. And so she doing her thing. And so I asked him. I said, "So you all soccer now?" He's like, "So you doing?" I said, "No more hoop. No more football. You're not gonna try baseball?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm not. We don't have time for that, bro." Like, that's what he said. We don't have time for that. We all in. He's like, but I want to do other stuff, but I ain't gonna lie. My hands, I got butterfingers. He said, and I can't throw. I was laughing because he's 7 and he's so self-aware. Like, I'm fast, I'm athletic, my feet good. But my hands, trash, bro. And like, for him to tap out on that at 7 just made me laugh. Like, you know what? I'm not gonna waste my time with that. I'm good over here. And I'm gonna put everything into this. And he's cold. He's nice as hell. I went to his practice. And he's on a club team too. And he got recruited on the team. And then it made me realize how athletic Keelan and Kendrick are. They just do stuff. They just, like, he's better than Keelan right now because of how much he trains on one sport. So he's better at soccer.
That one sport.
One sport because he trains. But when they just were playing, like they play one-on-one, Keelan getting them. And with baseball, Keelan, it's just like Keelan he just does stuff. Like, we work now. He's 9, but when he first started doing stuff, like, he just came home one day. I was like, when you learn how to throw like that? Like, he just do it. And I was like, oh. And then same with Kendrick. Kendrick's downfall, he's so good at stuff so fast, he gets frustrated if he ain't great right away. I'm like, relax, bro. Like, so everything is tears, and it's your first day. But I can't do it. Well, that's what happens, bro. You got to practice. Like, it's going to take time. And he want to be good. But he's like, but everything's easy for me.
My son had the same. He wrote a J, and he wrote the hook part the wrong way. Had a full meltdown. I can't do it. I'm like, dude, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. Don't worry about it, bro. Just give you the ball.
They want to be good now.
Like, damn, dog.
They want to be good now.
To be a perfectionist at 5, it's kind of like not insane, but it's just like where you getting that mentality?
Some people are just insanely competitive.
Out the gate.
Like, and it's just if I'm not great at everything, what am I doing?
At 5, 6?
And they just be like that.
And they have so much exposure too to like the internet, so they're seeing.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Otherworldly kids and just like phenoms.
Because that's exactly what I'm saying. It's like a lot of kids are on the iPad, they're watching YouTube 24/7, and they're watching goats. And they're being like, I should be this good. It's just like, no, you shouldn't.
But there's a lot that don't care at all. They watch that go, they're like, good for him. I'm going to do nothing. You know what I mean? So I think it's just your nature. And I think with my kids particularly, probably just because of Cotty's insanely competitive.
That's where they get their athleticism from.
Not at all. But, and then.
Nigga just take a dig at you on
categorically. You know what I mean?
No, calorically.
Categorically is another one. It's another one.
Is it? Let's Google it.
No, categorically. That's a normal one. That's a normal one. I think they are naturally talented, and I think it frustrates them to just not be good at stuff.
I think in a lot of cases, it's what you are viewing. Even if it's from your parents, you see your parents be competitive. You see your parents be like, I'm going to get this right. And you see them locking down and locking in. Or you're seeing stuff on the internet. I think in most cases it's probably that.
You still have to have it in your nature. There's a lot of people who see stuff and they still lazy as hell. Don't want to do that.
That's true too.
So it is, like my nephew.
It's a combination.
My nephew is very, just see something and then go out practice for 3 hours. Like, I'm okay. That's what he did. Then I'm gonna.
It's kind of like, what else am I doing?
Some people just want to be like Keelan's. Come home every day. I'm winning my class. What are you talking about? We have scores. The teacher gives us points for. So I just got to. If I keep reading, and then I'm like, all right. But they just want to win. They just. Yeah. And I'm not gonna say. It doesn't matter.
Just
it's
relax.
all. Yeah. No, I'll be like, you fucking kill it. You read the best book.
I remember being a kid, and you remember we had like the little things that you order books from or whatever the case may be. We had a thing in our class where it's just like, all right, the top 5 readers, you can kind of like get essentially like free time in the class over here, and then everybody else has to actually sit over here and read. And there was times where you was like, you might have been on this side over here when you wanted to be a top 5 reader, and they're playing over here having. I don't know, whatever game over here.
You over here with
and you learning still. You just like, damn. So you took pride in trying to like. I remember I ordered a hella Goosebumps books, and I was just like, all right, I'm gonna read
classics.
Goosebumps is
I'm gonna read all these books real quick, and then I got on the fast or the strong reading side. 'Cause I was on the slow side.
You know what's crazy?
A few times.
You know what's fucked up? I look at you and I just see porn addiction and selling porn. Like, that's your whole youth.
Still?
That's your whole youth to me.
We're 3 episodes away from that.
I can't see you like doing normal kid shit.
That didn't start at 5.
Yeah,
nigga.
he got turned out. Like he didn't didn't start off like that.
I was a normal boy.
I was.
Okay, all right.
I played back like I was at
He was
first.
playing with his toys, his action figures.
Oh, I didn't know you had to.
I was big into action figures. I watched anime. Like I was. This nigga say your life is just all porn to me.
Out the gate.
No, but
porn?
can you imagine even now, like with these kids, like they actually had that stuff at their fingertips at school. Some of these kids are watching porn.
Oh
and,
yeah,
like,
I saw a
Are
video.
they?
A comedian did a video. His daughter was like, they're watching porn at school. She's 11.
It's not like you even got to go to Pornhub and you can check if you're 18 or not. It's on Twitter. They recommend you. They did their whole thing kind of like TikTok too, where it's like you can go to where you're following or go to where you're like random people. It's anybody's post.
Yeah.
It's like, nigga, they're just dropping porn in there.
That
even if you don't
anybody
watch
world is insane.
It's
I
insanity.
didn't even sign up for this. That's how I found out there was porn on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
It was like I was just in this space and I was scrolling. I was like, what
They
the
threw
hell
it
is
in
going
there.
on? And it's just porn. And you're like, I don't know how to I didn't do this.
Bro, but
I
now
wonder how they're consuming it.
but now my bookmarks are. I have like
Yeah.
I got like 40 different. I probably got more than 40.
But like the
But
type of
I got hella bookmarks.
I can't even
bookmark
imagine
shit.
the type of porn that's out. Like I can't imagine having access to that as like an 11-year-old. Like that shit.
Right.
Like that
I
shit would
saw
kind of
my
like
first-
scare me a little bit.
I saw my first porn at 12 and it did scare me.
Yeah.
Fucked me up.
Yeah. So
But
it should be like a
it
deterrent.
was too wild for
Yeah.
first introduction. We went to my boy house and he's like, I'm gonna go to my dad's room, and he went and got it, and it was a bunch of us, like boys and girls, like hell of us, and he put that shit on, and I remember when I saw it, I was like, well, I'm never eating vagina. Like that was my first thought, because this lady shit was blown out.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like,
it blown out naturally?
I don't know, sir.
Okay.
People don't say that, man. If you see the wrong
If you
vagina,
see it up front, and that's my first one.
First
I
one?
never seen
They
one.
fuck you up. Yeah.
I said, oh, no, I'll never do this. I'll never do that. And then it was wild shit. In the porn, the next scene, it was a dude that had 4 balls and 2 dicks.
Oh.
What?
Motion
And that is a
effect,
thing.
motion graphics.
That's a thing. You can look it up. It's an actual thing. So he's sitting there smashing both holes, busted like he was milking a cow. I'll never forget this.
That's
He
all.
was,
yeah.
he was, so whatever his dad
Scare
was into,
tactics.
it was all kind of shit.
that nigga was watching
And
a
so
mutant-
this is
a
my
mutant,
first
nigga.
introduction, and I'm like,
Yeah.
absolutely not. Like, so it actually kept me at bay for a while because when girls was ready, like I was like,
I ain't got 2 dicks.
I don't even want to see those.
What you gonna do with this 1 dick and 2 balls?
I didn't even want to see a vagina like in person. I didn't want to see it because I was like, if that's what the cat is looking like, I'm good,
Scary,
bro.
yeah.
Like,
it's like because and that's the thing when you see a beautiful one, you just like ain't nothing.
What's a beautiful vagina?
I don't know for me. For you talking about just for me or just in general?
yeah.
For me, I mean,
that was a wild way to describe pussy.
Like,
So,
when you see a beautiful one,
what's a
like,
beautiful? I mean, I've seen ones that look like this is well put together.
I've seen. I guess it's hard to explain a pretty pussy, but like, but my thing is just like I guess not a whole bunch of labia sticking out, you know, like just
Okay,
hanging
so like
out.
it-
It's
so
like,
neat.
so like a little more reserved,
yeah, and then like
but I like it.
understated.
Not, but also the puffy ones. The puff be looking.
The puffy
Yeah.
The
ones,
puffies.
the ones with the
ditties?
the menorah.
You said kept saying the puppies, man. I was like, but I know what you mean. Like that's
Yeah, the ones that they're
think
little.
it's insane.
You be
the
like,
fat vagina, the fat pussy.
you be like, this one looks nice.
Yeah.
This is a nice one.
So to me, there's different ones. It's just like, you know, to me when I just somehow I literally saw it look like a whole bunch of pastrami hanging out. And I was just like, that looks
You're not into
crazy.
that? But see, those ones in turn on porn, those have the best pull. You know what I mean?
But what are you trying to pull?
No,
well, you know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about? Like when he pulls
when they're
out.
like, let's say
and
they're
like,
shooting,
it's like
they're
tugging.
shooting from the back, and it's
Yeah,
like
that
when he's
tug.
going out, there's like, nah, get in
Yeah,
here,
that
like
tug.
it's not.
Yeah,
Those
not
ones had the
letting them
best
go.
tug.
that's fair.
I get it. Visually, I get it.
Yeah,
You know,
the
on that
tug. Yeah.
on that angle. That way, I
Fucking
get
awful.
it. But
This is
it's
awful. I
like,
gotta cut all this.
No, you
you
don't.
I gotta cut all
We're
this,
so
dog.
far in the
This
episode.
is awful, bro.
No,
It's
nah,
not awful.
it's
Here's the thing.
inappropriate.
Here's the thing.
That's what it is.
Exactly. You don't cut the inappropriate stuff out.
Not the inappropriate
We're
podcast.
mildly inappropriate, nigga.
How do y'all? Okay, well then, fuck it. How do y'all feel about the ones that have like the dyed tips?
The fuck is a diet tip?
Like
mean
the
it's dark-
edge, like the edges be like
Oh, the
darker,
crispy
darker.
edges?
crispy ass vagina. ass vagina is crazy, bro. Crispy ass vagina, like
That's a good pancake, bro.
the clip that got posted for Chocolate Sundays like 2 years ago, and I was talking about like how
Oh, your labia pictures?
yeah, and women were in the comment section like, who are you as a cis male to talk about how vagina should look?
If there were 3 women right here talking about dick sizes and shapes,
Yeah.
okay, you're entitled to that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, and women do that all
But
the time.
that's-
All the time.
Women do that all
And
the
that's
time. Talk about
actually-
ugly dicks, talk about
A
funny
lot of stuff
looking
that we can't
shape.
take.
That
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's the same thing. So
and
it's like,
that has greater impact. We could talk about how unattractive or how different or unique a vagina looks, but it still feels good.
Majority, if not all, men are gonna still
In
smash.
the moment, it's great.
Exactly.
It's all amazing.
You might make some jokes to yourself or to your homeboys afterwards, but for the
Yeah.
most part, you're going to still be like, I'm still getting this. A girl might be like, I'm not putting that in my mouth. And it's just like, well,
that's why I don't feel bad saying anything though, because I know they do it too. We're just doing our shit out loud.
Well,
I don't
Everything
feel
we
bad
do,
saying anything because I know I'll still be like,
yeah. But I just feel
You'll still
like
beat.
everything we do,
yeah, it's like I still love you.
everything we do as not just us 3, but as comedians too. Whatever, we just say everything out loud.
yeah. What
So I
people
don't
are
feel
thinking.
bad about things that I say because I know in the world
Yeah.
you're thinking it or saying it too. It might be on the reverse end or whatever. So it's like,
Yeah.
no, I'm gonna say this out loud. Like,
The issue is that people are just like, they hear things. It's like, you shouldn't be talking about that. It's like, that's the problem. We can't get to the bottom of some of these things because we don't talk about these things.
well, I mean, in this case, there's no bottom to get to. We're just
That- I
being
mean-
fucking stupid.
Well, yeah,
But there's
but-
no
but-
bottom. Like,
yeah, but
how,
I mean-
how do we fix these lips? Like, there's no, there's
Women
no
get surgery for that.
They do. They do
get
get surgery for that. shit.
What I'm
But
saying-
I'm like, for what?
Yeah, that's sad, man.
Well, we might call the lasagna noodles, pastrami,
Yeah.
roast beef, all the names, and
Still
guess
gonna
what?
eat it.
I'm still
Still
gonna
gonna
lick it.
penetrate
I'm
it.
still gonna smash.
Here's the
I'm
thing,
still
though.
gonna-
They get surgeries for everything else. So
You
it's
get
like
what?
they already get surgery. A lot of women get surgery. Not a lot of women. Some women get surgeries for any and everything. Right? Instead of working out, they go get their tummy done.
Yeah.
You know, they.
Well, you can't work out a vagina that's like that.
Well, I'm saying for me, I'm like this when it comes to surgery. It was something that you can't change physically. You can't do nothing about. Let's say as a woman, she goes
Like her nose.
Yeah, she's like, I really can't do anything about this. This really bothers me. I hate how this looks. First thing I would say is try to do some self-reflecting and just love yourself first. If you're beyond that, you're like, I can't love myself with this. Hey man, it is. I don't know.
I think that's where I'm at with most stuff. Like, does it matter? Does it really matter? And that's where I think that's what stops me, or that's what keeps me like, I understand if it would matter if your life has been affected
Right.
by this stuff. But let's say, since we're on the topic of women, let's say you're a woman and you do have all the loosey-loosies, right?
Yeah.
And it ain't never stopped you from getting a date, ain't never stopped you from having a boyfriend, and never. What the fuck? Who gives a shit?
Right.
Like,
Ultimately, yeah.
Who cares? If it ain't stopping nothing in your life, so
Right.
what? Like they say, somebody gonna like it. Somebody, you know, or even girls who dudes be trying to roast, or vice versa. When dudes, my wife like it, my husband like it. You know what I mean? Like, if you good, who gives a shit?
And
Now,
husband's in the background, it's like, I actually don't. I deal with it, but I don't love
actually, if I could be truthful,
Yeah. But then that's that. If the lips are hanging like that and you're not getting anything,
why?
go get them tucked.
Why?
Go get them tucked.
Why do they have to be hanging like that though? Like, why?
It was just sitting there like.
it. Oh god.
There's dudes out there that tell women like they don't like when they shower before sex because they like
That's
to smell-
common.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's
I like
common.
that.
Depending on what you did that day, I saw a meme that said,
Like I like when it stink a little bit or something like that.
dude said, don't be trying to have sex with me first on the shower. Go take a lap first. Like,
Yeah.
There's dudes out there that they don't wash a booty hole to girls because it's just like
that's a lot.
there is a lot, but there's some dudes out there that like shit like that. So it's like
No pun intended.
no pun intended, calorically. But it's like you'll find your tribe. You'll
Always
Yeah.
find your tribe.
always find your tribe.
You'll always find, especially in today's society. That's why being a nerd isn't bad no more.
Yeah.
Because now you can find your tribe. Back in the day, like Keith said all the time, he's like, I don't like today's nerds because I had to go through the real shit
Yeah.
back in the day.
That's
you know
how
what I mean?
lesbians feel too.
Now you can just find your tribe.
Yeah.
And it's like, so anything you're into or physical, whatever, you can find your tribe now. It's very easy to do.
You just Google hanging lips, and then just go to a yoga class, and you see it through your pants when y'all doing downward dog.
Kind of look like bat wings.
Jesus.
Like a stingray in the ocean.
But again, I don't feel bad about none of this because I know somewhere there's a girl having wine right now. I'd be like, oh my God, girl, let me show you this picture.
Have you seen a vagina and you was just like, and you just like, we're here.
In my head, I've been like, that's not desirable, but also, here's my penis.
Yeah.
Like, we're here.
Yeah.
Like, we're here.
I've seen a few. I was just like, and then I got it. And I was like,
Yeah, it's all gonna
better than it
feel-
looks. It's like remember you ever eat a food and be like, this doesn't look too good.
So many meals we've had, scrambles, like you throw this shit together, it looks like slop. Tastes fucking delicious. Presentation is overrated. That's why in fancy restaurants you go and they drizzle. I'm like, nah, man, just bring me my burrito with the I don't care about none of this because it's worse when it has a nice presentation. It ain't got no flavor.
The restaurants that I've been to that present like that I've been to majority of the times. Mid to trash.
Yep.
On the majority of cases, bro.
They trying to get by.
And then the price is high.
Do you think that we have, as Black people, that we have a different idea or perception of what flavor is?
I think it's regional.
Okay.
Because white people in the South,
they can cook,
get down, and they want their food just like we want ours.
Okay.
I think because so many Black people migrated from the South, that's why, and that's just ingrained in our. But like a white person from California would be like, this avocado toast doesn't need any, and somebody from Louisiana would be like, this is the nastiest shit I ever had in my life. I think it's regional.
Okay. Because I
or like Italian, you go to New York, them Italian, they be like, what the fuck is this? Like, I think it's a white person from Montana is not gonna think the same from a white person from Texas, from a white person from, North Carolina.
Obviously, I live with a white woman,
Yeah.
and she's taking strides in terms of like seasoning and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's still like a gradual
Yeah.
sort of progression. But there was a point in time where I would eat here, and then I would go to my mom's, and I'm like, maybe my mom is over seasoning.
I mean, there's that too.
You know what I'm saying?
Like when me and Cotty went on our super health kick, lighter salt,
Yes.
I was going to eat at people's house, and I was like, this is too much.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was too salty or even too sweet sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But that's a salt thing. Flavor-wise,
So
you
you
don't
can
need
train the
salt for
palate.
flavor.
You can train
you
the
can.
palate.
You can.
Yeah.
But you also train it the other way, and then it gets messed up. Like some of our friends and teammates we had in college, they white, grew up in Montana, whatever.
Right.
They was eating our food and then went back home to eat and was like, this shit is trash.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, but I never over-seasoned. So I think they just had none. So, one girl asked her mom, like, what did you put on this? She was like, nothing. And she was like, that explains it. Because I don't think it needs to be, most times, if you just talking about bare minimum flavor, salt and pepper should be
Kinda
fine.
get the job, yeah.
And using more, I don't think people use enough actual vegetables in their cooking. Bell pepper, onion, celery, you know what I mean? Like garlic. They don't use enough of real vegetables in their cooking, so they overcompensate with seasonings.
Right.
But if you use but I grew up learning from my mom, who learned from my papa. He's from New Orleans, so they cook. So every meal, your base is onion, bell pepper, garlic, celery. That's just what they do.
I remember when I was working at Home Depot, and it was this African dude. He was like, he brought a meal. And he's like, hey, Keenan, I want you to try my it's like a beef, I don't know, like a beef stew that he made. And I tried it, and I was just like, yo, bro, this thing has like no flavor. He was just like, it has flavor. It's just like the way your people do it. You're trying to kill yourselves.
Yeah.
And I was just like, he was just like, we don't. He's like, this is why our people live long and people here die, because it's like that's why heart disease was rampant in the communities out here. He's like, it's a lot of seasoning. And I remember just being like, I just couldn't even finish the piece. He's like, I'll bring something for you tomorrow too. And he brought something to me for tomorrow, because he never we used to always go out and eat for lunch. He always brought home cooked food.
Yeah.
And I started eating. I was just like, okay, I was like, I see what he's saying. And it was just like, damn, we're over seasoning.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes our food, and like we're slowly killing ourselves in some cases. Like you said, I think it's smart that you said cooking with a bunch of vegetables to give more seasoning. You lightly season some stuff, and it's like all that goes in there.
dried vegetables.
Yeah,
that's been broken down, and you probably added crap to it nowadays. But
yeah,
all it is vegetables, and it's natural shit you can get from the earth, and we're overdoing it.
Yeah,
and then,
well, a lot of people, they're doing like natural seasonings without the salt, because the salt is usually the issue in the diet anyways. That's messing people up. Right. And it's like, yo, just season with this without all the salt, you're still getting good, like you said, fresh, crushed up vegetable, whatever it is, herbs or whatever it is, and it's in there, and it's good.
Still processed.
I'm a big fan of garlic and onion. You put garlic and onion in most things,
Yeah.
you're pretty good to go. Like you're.
Yeah, it just kind of changed my. I was like, maybe people just have different palates. Like maybe it's not.
And it changes with age.
Yeah.
Oh, for
If
sure.
I eat candy
Yeah,
right now,
yeah,
my
yeah.
teeth be like, no mas. Like, it's
Yeah.
too much.
You give me a pack of nerds right now?
Oh my god.
I might die, bro. Like
I remember I could just eat, cookies and all that, and now I'm like,
Yeah.
ugh, it's too much. It's
Yeah.
too rich. It's too sweet. I don't like any. I remember the amount of butter I used to put on stuff. I'm like, I
Bro.
can't.
Yeah,
I can't
Butter's
do
a
it.
big thing. That was a big
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
That's a big change.
Like I don't even cook with butter anymore. I used to cook everything with like butter. I don't even do that. And I was like, it's just too
Take
much.
a pussy lip and just rub it on the pan.
On the crispy edges, bro. It's like,
yo,
Just melt that pussy lip right on the.
I wonder has a nigga put butter on a crispy ass vagina before.
for sure.
And you
For
at least
sure.
tried
Things
it.
people have done.
For sure.
The
Yeah.
things people have done.
There's no, when it comes to sex, I'm at an age now where there's no more. I wonder if anybody, somebody
Drizzled.
here has whatever you can come up with.
Drizzled
Somebody's
cinnamon
done.
frosting.
So, were you guys food niggas in the vagina? Been like, all right, let me put some whipped cream on this. Let me eat this.
Oh,
with
have I
some
done
cherry."
all this? I've done that stuff to do it.
Just to do it?
Yeah, just
Just to do it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, to me, it was just like, I was like, why do people do this?
Yeah, the ice.
I think it was. I think
The ice,
it's the
whipped cream,
optics of doing it.
chocolate. I've done all that. And I'm just like,
I
okay,
remember
we made a mess.
You remember that? You remember that movie Trippin'?
Yep. That's one of my favorite movies, bro. I love that movie.
Trippin' is
Generosity.
man, bro. Movie
That's a hood classic, bro.
hood
That's a cult classic. I fucking love Trippin'.
hilarious. But there was a scene I think with Donald Faison,
Yeah, with
that
the girl.
sexy ass chick, and
Yeah.
he put like a banana split on her ass.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I gots to try that. I gots to try that.
He was doing the most. He was in high school.
Yes,
He was in high
I forgot
school.
about they're in high school doing
They were in
this.
high school, bro, and he had smashed hella chicks and was doing hella much.
Bro, what did you say? Man, shut the fuck up.
When he gave his speech, I
Yeah.
know. Man, shut the fuck up. Bro, that movie, you ain't got no diplome. He was butchering words. Butchering words in that movie. To this day, I can't say the word lacrosse without laughing. Because of that movie. Lacrosse? You want my boy to play lacrosse? Get the fuck out of my house before I kick your ass across the street. That movie funny as hell, bro.
Gary ain't seen it because I can
see
tell.
it. Yeah,
I can tell by the way he responded.
I'm trying to look.
Bro,
Gary's like,
Rip is so funny, bro. It's
Watch
all
that movie.
ugly motherfuckers must leave now. Look, I'm gone. Dude got up and left, bro. You know it's still funny if you could quote it and still laugh.
Yeah.
Like that movie's funny.
Comedies like that, I feel like they were talking to somebody else. They were saying how they saw the movie that Keenan and I were in,
Oh, the gutter?
The Gutter, and he was just like, man, they don't make comedies like
It's
this
just
anymore.
stupid.
It's just like a stupid, silly, kind of like edgy throwback to like early 2000s comedies, maybe late 90s comedies.
Yeah.
And it was just like, those movies don't exist as much as they should right now. We kind of need that genre to just like let people be edgy, let people say the things that that we say either on here or that people are afraid to say on whatever. And that should just be its own genre if that's the case. Then just let it be. All right, cool. If you don't want to watch it, don't go over there and watch it. Then don't complain about it either. Though.
I'm happy to be a part of that movie because I
Same.
loved what it was.
Same.
I was like, oh, I missed this.
Because I knew when we shot that last scene, because it's the only scene that we're in at the end.
Yeah.
And I was just like, because I didn't know what it was gonna be. We didn't get a script. Remember, we were just
No.
like, because we didn't have lines like that. So we were sitting there. I was just like, and then he went to the other people in the groups, and he was going. I was just like, oh, I said, yeah, oh, Yasha's going there. Shout out to like Yasha, Lester, and his brother. It's just like I was like, oh, he's kind of going here with this. And then when we watched it, we were just like,
It was so dumb, bro.
we were like, okay, they're taking this, saying some wild
loved it.
stuff, and I'm with it.
And I agree with you with the don't go over there, Brett. I don't want to tell his joke, but he just has that kind of idea. It was like when we were growing up as kids, there was no, but it's just don't take your ass over there.
Yeah.
Like you remember that as a kid, there was just certain places you weren't supposed to go. Like
Yep.
it was accountability. Kids had more accountability back in the day.
Right.
Like you were responsible for your own shit more. Like if they say that's a bad neighborhood, stay away from there and you get shot, your parents wasn't like, oh, I told your ass not to go over there. Like we were raised with way more accountability and now it's everybody else's fault for everything. And it's like, nah, you made that decision.
There were times, you're right. There were times my parents said, don't do something. If you do it, and you came home and was like, didn't I tell you not to do that? I'm not going over there and talking to them people. I told you
You're right.
not to go
These
do
are the
it.
consequences
Yep.
of fucking with that dog. I told you leave that dog alone.
Exactly.
And that's what happens.
Your ass
So,
get bit. Now
that's
go-
how we learn. Don't
Go-
touch the stove.
Yeah.
That's how I learned my stove. My mom, Keon, don't. And one day she heard me screaming, didn't I tell you not to touch it? And I never touched it again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Never touch it again.
My hand bubbled up, and my dad was just
Yep.
like, that's what your ass get.
Yep.
Or do your kids respond well to just the sort of the command, or do they ask follow-up questions?
They
My
are
kids ask hella questions.
mixture. They're at an age now where it's, hey, bro,
Yeah.
you can ask why, do what I say, and then we'll talk about why. And I'll even go out, explain it right. Time to do this. Why? First of all, because I said so. But second of all,
Yeah.
because it's for this isn't it. So knock it out, and I'll explain why this. Because I don't have, like, if we talk about time, I don't have time right now for all this shit.
Right.
Do it, and then on the way to practice, I'll tell you. But right now, I need you to get dressed, get your shit. Let's go, bro. Like, I don't have time for that shit right now.
Have you ever been blindsided by like a question and you like, fuck, I never thought I would have to answer this. Like,
Oh yeah, all the time. I talk about all that stuff on stage though.
Oh,
like
yeah.
all the random questions these dudes be asking me, I'll be like, and then some of the points they make sometimes, I was like,
Yeah.
I've actually never thought about that. That's
Yeah.
a good.
yeah.
You know, that's
a good idea.
I think that's a good space though, because I feel like a lot of parents don't do what you just said. They kind of just be like, all right, we don't have time for this. Just get in the car, shut up. I don't have time to explain this to you. Or they'd be like, I'm not explaining this to you. I'm your parent. You just listen to what I tell you. Instead of saying, hey, I'll explain to you, but as of right now, we need to get this done. And then I'll explain to you a little bit later. But I will explain to you at some point.
Yeah.
Whereas,
Sometimes it should be hard to explain though.
Yeah.
I don't have children yet, so I understand that when I hear parents times, it's just like, especially with somebody that's a single parent, it's just like, bro, I don't have time if I got 2 or 3 kids to break down all the stuff to all 3 of y'all.
Just even
fall in line.
That's with pressure.
Yeah.
But there are just like, did your kids ask when your kids start losing their teeth, did they ask about the tooth fairy? Did they ask about it?
All that stuff.
What'd you say?
What's funny is I don't remember because when Kendrick started losing his teeth, we couldn't remember what we did with Keelan. But now that Keelan's older, he's ruining everything anyway.
Oh, okay.
So because he's coming from a place, he's smarter.
Yeah.
So he's coming from a place of logic anyway.
Yeah.
So everything they doing, so like it's Christmas, they got presents under the tree right now, and Kendrick's still on the borderline with a lot of stuff. Like, is Santa real? Is the tooth fairy real? So he doesn't like, he knows it shouldn't be, but also he wants to be the kid and like believe in the Kendrick's been on dinosaurs and fantasy world. So the tree's presents on the tree right now, and Keelan just out of nowhere, we watching TV. He goes, now if there was a Santa, how does presents here already?
Right.
And he just do shit like that, and Kendrick be like, well, maybe, like he wants to believe, but at the same time he knows it's bullshit. And so like with the tree, with his tooth, he lost a tooth. Cotty writes a note from the tooth fairy, blah, blah, blah. Next morning, he finds his tooth. Oh, I knew she was real. Keelan looking at it. I know this handwriting.
Yeah.
I know this. He's like, but if you, it's, hey.
Funny if kids, like you, as a parent, you just be like, I'm going to tell them all the wrong things about everything. Like all the wrong things about, like Santa's actually, you just create this whole different narrative.
Nobody wants a dumb kid at school.
Yeah, and it's like, now Santa's is actually this guy that comes in a suit every day, like a suit and tie.
Yeah.
And he does this, and it's like, what? No, it's not how. What are you talking about? It's like,
I was like that as a
my
kid.
dad said.
We found out about Santa early because I was like, this ain't making sense. Because like they gave us the whole chimney story, right? We lived in an apartment at the time, and we did have a fireplace. But I'm looking, and it come out of a little. It's not a fire like a big chimney. It's a little thing. So I'm like, how you fit in there?
Yeah.
And I was like, ain't he fat? Like how you fit? Oh, and then the whole how he get around everybody's house in every neighborhood, and there's certain kids that don't get
in
pregnant.
one night?
Yeah, and I'm like, well, this ain't the math ain't mathing. Like it's not. And then so this reindeer can fly. Like you telling me the deers we see out in no, this is not
I don't
making
think I
sense.
ever had like an experience of like really believing in Santa Claus.
I
like,
never.
when you kind of poor, like you want your kids to know, like,
Yeah.
no, I bought this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this didn't just appear.
And then my mom and dad was doing stuff like close your door. And they just went to the mall.
Yeah.
And they're like, close your door. And we looking at the door, we see them
Wrapping presents,
wrapping and bringing
Yeah.
shit in. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is not no.
I was always kind of on the fence with the Santa Claus thing too. And then one day I was sleeping, I woke up, and I ended up being my dad, of course, but he was in like a Santa outfit. Like
he went all out.
He was putting presents under the tree. I remember just being like, Santa, like, whoa, like just like you know, like a movie, just like, whoa, it's Santa.
And then he took a sip of Jack Daniels.
E&J, nigga, not Jack Daniels. He don't drink Jack Daniels. He took a sip of E&J.
Don't ever disrespect my father.
And then you heard of these goddamn kids.
He just started fighting the tree. But I remember seeing, I was just like, whoa, this is crazy. Like, I remember my brother slept on the top bunk. I was like, yo, Corey, it's Santa. And, you know, Corey's just like, hey, ain't no Santa, bro. Just turned back around. But I remember I was just kind of sleeping with my eyes like halfway open, just being like, wow. And then, I mean, I felt like not too long after that, I was like, oh, it was my dad.
But for him to even go all out like that is dope for him as a dad. Like, just in case they wake up. Because my mom, she woke up in the middle of the night one time. We didn't see her do it. She's like, leave your milk and cookies for Santa. And I'm already like, ain't no Santa. Like, this don't make sense. And then we woke up the next morning, and there was a bite out of the cookie, and some of the milk was missing. I was like, all right, who did this? And my mom was like, it must have been Santa. And Keith is all in. He's like, I know it. And I was like, this ain't. And then my mom was like, nah, it was me. I was like, because I was like, this ain't. I was like, ain't no reindeer track. She cleaned it up too. You know, I was already clean by that age. I was like, who cleaned this up? You telling me? Nah, man, this ain't.
But the whole mystique around that stuff too was that there was magic involved. Yeah. So that's why a lot of that stuff, I didn't ask a whole bunch of those questions as a kid, because it's just like,
it's magical.
It's like, yo, Santa can do things. He can get down a chimney and make himself slim and then come back.
Well, that's what they did in the movie, what they did, and they was explaining all that, and you like,
right.
All right, Santa.
Yeah, but I was just
I get it now. But yeah, I mean, at that point, I was just like, you know, at a certain time I was like, oh, Dad, I want this for Christmas. Or Mom, can we get this? Like, at a certain time I was just like directly asking.
You know what it is too, and not to piggyback off Gary's point, not only economic thing, but like, what black parent is gonna let a white person take credit? For doing? That's where a lot of it comes from. Like, obviously, a white family goes, go talk to Santa.
Right.
This white man, that's sick. But black families be like, no, fuck that, dude. Like, I did that. Me, your black father and your black mother helped you. You know, did this for you. You know?
That makes sense. It's like you giving a white man all the credit for a black person's hard work. That's what they're known for anyway, taking the credit. But it's like, when you think about that. I mean, because we weren't raised on like, yo, Santa's white. Like at school we were. Yeah. At school we went all the little candy grams or whatever the case may be. When
rosy red cheeks and
but when we got home, it's just like I said, when I saw my dad, I was like, oh, Santa's black. My dad's black. So I was like, you know, I looked at him and saw a black guy, or at least a black Santa in my eyes. And I was like, okay, cool. Like Santa looks like.
They addressed it on I remember an episode of the Cosbys. Raven Simone was asking them kind of questions, like, is Santa white? And they were saying Santa's whatever color your household is.
Really? That's
and
interesting.
So she was like, and she was saying all the words wrong, Caucasian. And so they was like, yeah, and an Asian, you know, and he's Asian. And so she was like, there's several Santas? And they were like, well, you know, it's a team of blah, blah. So some people do that. You know, people will figure out a way to lie to their kids and all that. But for me, I was like, I'm not doing all that, man. Hey, I work hard for this.
I'm fine with Santa being white. Well, I'm fine. It's Santa. I don't see a white man.
They're not gonna be as.
I'm like, I see Santa dropping our presents. I won't even attach race to Santa. He's fine.
It is.
The Jesus thing is more of an issue for me.
For sure.
Yeah, that's more of an issue.
Because that's just a flat out lie.
Yeah.
That's why that's just crazy.
It's not even the nigga Jesus.
Like how you see hair of wool, skin of bronze, white man. What?
What is his name? Cesar Bogart or something like that. It's like something like that. Yeah.
No, the artist painted his cousin or something.
Yeah, his name is Caesar. It's like Caesar or Cesar Bogart or something.
Yeah. Imagine calling your cousin and be like, hey man, can you compose for me real quick, bro? I need a Jesus real quick. He's like, yeah, I'll do it. What's this gonna do?
I wonder what that dude actually look like.
I wonder what he's doing. Like what he did after, after Jesus blew up.
Yeah. Hey, nigga, that's me. Look at the niggas worshiping me.
You know, men are still men no matter what. So can you imagine? Be like, so you. What you think about you? You think
look how you got hoes.
You know, you kind of look like him. I mean,
it's crazy, right?
Yeah. Don't tell nobody, but that's actually me. My cousin, you're telling me you're Jesus. My cousin called. Who painted it?
Yeah,
who painted it?
I'm not saying it's me, but I'm saying
come to my house, and then you know you're gonna call. Hey, tell her.
You know what he did? And he stayed next to it like, look at it. Go ahead.
He definitely did that. He definitely did that.
Made the same face. And
he definitely did that to get pussy. He definitely did.
Yeah.
He had to.
For sure.
If he didn't get no pussy being painted Jesus, that nigga lame.
Oh, that was.
That'd be going.
I think his cousin's more trash. Like if he was hating, like he's calling his cousin for like, hey, bro, tell him this is me that you paying. He's like, no,
That's Jesus.
Ain't no dude.
We
got an accent.
It is funny. Like when would Jesus have had time to just like sit down for a portrait?
It's like, yeah, right.
I got things
For
to
his-
do,
for
bro.
his
Healing people, bro.
His Titanic portrait.
I got things to do, bro. And it's crazy that one painting, then they just took that face and put it on everything else, every other painting. And that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And people just rolled with that. Nah, not anymore. That's what's funny is people. What made me laugh about that kind of stuff is when people find out what it really and still be like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care.
Kind of a little bit. That'll
That's-
fucking unravel your whole
I mean,
like,
yeah.
identity.
If you worship this thing for 30 plus, 40 plus years or more, even 60 years, it's like from a mental standpoint, it's just like I don't care what you're talking about.
Can't even create an image in your mind of like what Jesus looks like anymore.
What's crazy
That's
to
all
me
you
is
have.
like, why? Let's say you find out that picture's inaccurate. Why did that have to change anything? Okay, so the picture's inaccurate.
you start questioning everything.
I know, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying like.
It's like catfish.
Like
Catfish.
nobody knew back. Let's say nobody knew. Nobody knows exactly what was going on back then.
Because there's no
Whatever.
alternative. It's like, so then, what did it
Yeah.
actually look like? I need to replace this
Well,
image in my head
it
with
told
something
you.
else.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
can make it up in your
Now
head.
I'm just thinking about wool and like
You know what I mean?
nappy
That's a
hair,
fro. That's a
like-
fro. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
a
Like
fro, like Wilt Chamberlain. Like what? Like what am I doing? What am I doing? What's in my mind?
Wilt didn't even have a fro.
Did not-
He didn't have a fro. He had like a little bit of fade, didn't he?
But you could draw one right now.
Yeah.
They had a fro. Dr. J, fro. I mean, how big was the fro?
Yeah.
How tall was he?
Was
Was he
it
short?
even all around?
Didn't they say he was short?
Everything about history and science just keeps on changing.
Yeah.
Like fucking at this point, rapidly, like damn near every year, it's like actually this is not the thing. that
Yeah. Is it a
actually
planet?
happened.
Is it not a planet? It's just like always.
We're getting new telescopes and they'll be like, actually, it looks like this now. They give
Yeah.
if you look at
Dinosaurs actually had feathers, and it's like they didn't.
That was the thing.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like all this stuff. It's like
And
it's
it's like I can't explain this shit to my kids.
Yeah.
Like keep it the
And I
old
don't-
way.
I don't even care.
These niggas got so
Like,
many questions.
They're not here anymore. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
I don't care if the dinosaurs had feathers, if they look more like reptiles. I don't give a shit. They're not here.
what are they affecting right now?
Yeah, they're not
Nothing?
here.
Yeah.
They're not here.
Who cares?
I don't know the dinosaur fascination.
I never understood. I mean, Jurassic Park was a
Maybe
dope
there's
movie.
entire careers surrounding it. So
Yeah.
you could just be that.
You could be a paleontologist. Yeah, you
Yeah.
could just go and look
I
up
just look for
dinosaur shit.
dinosaurs.
At one point, I wanted to be an archaeologist.
You wanted to be an archaeologist?
My first year in college, well, at a JUCO, anyways. I think it's
Oh,
like,
you up to that late? You want to be an archaeologist?
well, because I think I took like anthropology or something like that.
Okay.
And I was
Yeah.
seeing stuff. I was just like, yo, this looks dope as hell to do. Like it seemed like it was dope. And then I was like, then I started getting my conspiracy bag. I was just like, it don't make any sense for me to discover something for the first time. And then I'm probably gonna have to relay this back to the government. They're gonna probably be like, hey, this particular thing, we can't have you tell that to
Oh,
the
you went
public.
that far? You went
I was going deep with it because it was just like,
because you was going to be the best archaeologist of all time. Like,
no, but I was saying, if I discovered something, it's just like, yo, I discovered this. I would want to probably say it that day. Like, like you said,
Yeah.
the thing that says Jesus. It's like, hey, look what I found, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to be that dude. And it's just like, the government probably be like, yeah, you need, any discoverings that you find, whatever, any discoveries, you need to bring it back to us first.
Keep it on our low.
that's an alien,
then
baby.
then we kind of roll this out like an album.
Yeah.
You know what would be cold is if you discovered something, right? And the government's like, yo, we got to keep this under wraps. And then 2 months later, they like present it to the public and there's a white man attached to it. Thomas Britton discovered
Right.
3 new fun. And you're like,
I mean, think about how many times that happened, and then they corrected it later, like
yeah.
years. Actually, a black woman.
It was a black, yeah.
in
Yeah.
Kansas was actually the first one.
That's fucked up.
Shit's crazy.
And at this point, it's too late.
Yeah,
Her family
right.
get the benefits of that.
Right.
Like it's like everything was
Yeah.
named after this. There's a museum named after the
Already
white guy that
fall
did it.
into
Right.
alcoholism, yeah, became an
It's like-
alcoholic. Can't
Yeah.
undo all that.
right.
Yeah, that'll fuck your whole life up.
Yeah,
shit
that'd be
crazy.
terrible. Could you kill yourself? All because
So you want to do it all the way till college? You want to do that?
Yeah, like my first.
Keon saying it in like that's weird.
No, not. I'm shocked. Like I'm genuinely shocked.
We would watch like videos in class and seeing in the books, and I'm seeing all these pictures. I'm just like, yo, this shit looks dope to me.
Wait,
like,
was it paleontologists or was it dinosaur Pacific or archaeologists?
archaeology. It wasn't just dinosaur specific.
Okay.
Because it's
Bones,
like finding
Bones,
just anything like
old Egypt, any of that.
all that
okay,
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. It was all that stuff. I was just like, yo, this is
Because
fascinating.
archaeologist covers all of it, right?
Nigga, I don't know. I'm already evolved. I don't care. I thought that's where we're trying to get to.
I mean,
He's like, nigga, we have lighters. I don't care how they may fire. we have
but
lighters.
even when I see
look
this
it
stuff,
up,
like there's this girl that I follow on TikTok, this white girl, and she's really big on like the planets and space and stuff like that. She's like, cool, this new little telescope, and now this is the first picture where we had this telescope. This is what the universe or the Milky Way looked like. And then we had this new telescope. It looks like this, and you're like, yo, this looks crazy different than it did. And it's like that seems kind of still even exciting to me. But I also know too, it's like a lot of math involved, and once math gets involved for me, I tap out. So I'll be out of there.
So what's the study of space again? What's that one called?
Astrology? Astronomy? I don't know.
Astronomy.
Yeah.
It is. I could not think of it. So
Yeah.
paleontologists, I'm like 99% sure that's dinosaurs.
Just dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Okay. But when you said that, I was just like, hey, I ain't got nothing for you.
Yeah,
bro.
archaeologists going, let's go look at the pyramids.
Paleontologists are the study of past geologic periods.
Okay.
Oh, just periods in general.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they can study like volcanoes and
Archaeologists
shit?
is the study of past cultures
Okay.
through their surviving relics.
Okay.
And anthropology is the science of origin, early development, and culture of humankind.
Okay.
Because I think you find out about that. What was it, Lucy? Like the first human that they you sort of see that stuff and
Hella
like,
thick.
And it's like, oh yeah, she
had some big ass.
I was about to say, what do you think her vagina looks
Yeah,
like?
what her vagina look like?
she got the crispy edge.
Crispy edges. That's cold.
She has some big ass titties. That'd be
But
hilarious. Probably not though. What would be the point of having big ass titties back then?
She had to like be,
Yeah.
What do you mean that? It was a point of having
Limber.
big ass titties back
Well,
then.
you were feeding children, but did the children even live? You know what I mean? Like, how long did
the
people
first
living?
woman.
Like the first people, how long were they really living to get big ass titties?
Well, first of all, we're assuming that she's the first woman. I think they don't.
Yeah,
The
but
first
that
woman is a
given.
black woman.
Yeah, but that
Brother.
given.
No, well, I agree with that. What I'm saying
Yeah.
is, he's like,
I was
yeah,
just saying
nigga.
it. I was just saying it.
No, but I mean, but do you think she had big ass titties though? Like,
I mean, we don't even. That's the thing. I feel like we don't know how far life goes back and how advanced.
whatever this first woman was, whoever this lady is,
How big
do
was
you
the
think
first
she had
woman's
big ass
titties?
titties?
How big was the first
I
woman's
think-
Do you
titties?
think she was thick, regular?
I think she had ass and titties because she probably had to do a lot of walking.
Okay.
So,
But
if she's doing a lot of walking and she's one of the first, like she's probably doing a hella walking, so she's probably in pretty good shape.
if she
Legs
lived
is
like
crazy.
on a
But
hill,
think about how
Crazy.
early they were dying back then. So let's say you dying shortly after puberty. You ain't even fill out like you was supposed to yet.
Here's the thing. I think that
Think about all the girls who got thick when we got
I think
like
there's-
30 and
yeah,
20.
I
You
think
know what I
there's
mean?
certain periods of time where people were dying early, and a certain period of time they find out people were living to like 150. When you start to go back and look at some of that stuff, they're saying people were living to over 100 something years old and like active still, not necessarily just
Probably
old and
they were
decrepit.
eating real food and active.
Everything, real food, everything.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't hope. There probably was disease, but it probably
So
wasn't.
okay, well then I'm going with big ass titties.
Yeah. See.
I'm going
think so?
I'm going with she was
Yeah.
thick.
I think
First
she was
woman.
like
I think she was
12-year-old
thick.
boy.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't think titties like.
So you're saying
became a
she's
thing
Asian?
until later?
You don't think titties became a
I don't
thing?
think
I don't think
titties
that's. I don't
became
think that's the thing. I think that's
Like big mammary glands. I think that was like a evolutionary sort of development.
For more children, but it would make more sense to have big
But
ass
that
titties.
doesn't
and
even
shit.
make
It doesn't.
like,
It has nothing to do
big
with
titties
nothing.
make no sense.
I mean,
They don't make any sense.
they're fun.
yeah,
They're for the enjoyment of man.
they're for amusement.
Yeah,
they're not even for women at all. It's just
They're
for
the
us.
Disney
They're
World.
for anti-depression. They're nature's pick-me-up. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants you to do drugs. That's why God gave
Yeah,
us
that's so
titties,
funny.
so you can stay away from heroin and
funny.
crack. It's just like here's some titties, guys. Like
But yeah,
just look
the-
at titties.
yeah,
You're
the
back in-
functionality of titties make no
So
sense.
if you're an
They're,
alcoholic,
they're
size,
morale
because of size.
boosters. They're
Yeah,
morale
if you're an
boosters, bro.
alcoholic, drug addict, all these type of things, even suicide or whatever the case may be, you ain't never seen some good titties in.
Titties could have solved that, bro. They're morale boosters.
I suppose.
You ever been in a bad mood looking at titties?
No,
No.
I don't think so.
I've been in a bad
I'm
mood
saying.
I don't
before
think so.
titties,
Before
and then saw
titties, and
titties.
after
I was
titties,
just like,
it's not that bad.
yeah.
Like
I don't know.
imagine if you were about to get laid off.
Uh-huh.
They're like, Gary, we love
And they
having
bring
you
the
here.
big titty girl
the
in to
big
lay you
titty
off?
girl
To lay you
in-
off?
and she's like, the whole time she's like, but she's unbuttoning
Like,
slowly.
I'm so sorry.
We're
I
so
let you
sorry,
go.
and she's taking him
It
out,
just- It pains me.
and you'd be conflicted. You'd be like,
It's cool. It's all good.
can I get
Or-
a reference?
Or at least the whole time you're gonna be going like, you're gonna be looking up and down.
Like
okay,
if
all
everybody
right.
delivered bad news
With
with a
titties?
girl with a big ass titties,
Yeah.
and nice titties, not just big, like
Yeah.
nice titties, and you got bad news and nice titties all the time.
But here's the thing:
What about
it wouldn't be called bad news though. It'd just be called news, because nothing's bad with titties out.
That's what I'm saying.
Just be like, you know what I'm saying?
So the titties cancel out the bad.
Yeah,
what
it's just
I'm saying.
like you just got some
That's just math.
some difficult news.
Some hard to
This
hear.
might be hard for you
Hard
later.
hearing
This will be
news.
hard for you later, but right now,
In the moment, it was solid news.
that's a funny sketch.
This is how fucked up men are wired. You couldn't even focus on the bad news because you would keep replaying the titties in your head. Like, fuck this job. Damn, them some nice ass titties.
Titties, god damn. I
I
saw a nipple too.
wonder what she doing. Like your mind would be so sidetracked.
Think about this, because you want a nigga, because as many titties as we've all seen, collectively,
And
we still get excited.
Still excited every time.
We still, when a nigga see an areola,
Yep. Every time. Every time.
Yeah.
every time when I see my
40 years old.
we wife get out the shower, I'll be like,
Every time.
I just go over there and I grab her. She be like, why you just grab my titty for? I just be like, I just like
You see your spouse naked 350,000 times, and every time
uncountable. I'm
naked.
still like, I still
Yes.
smile.
Yep. Internally.
Yes.
I've even tried to purposely not care, just to see if it was like genetic. Like she walking by, butt naked, all that, and I'd be like,
Oh, I gotta tell you this. This is
like
quick.
I gotta care.
This is a quick story. So, when my dad was going through his alcoholism and stuff, right? At this particular point in time,
alcoholically.
yeah, alcoholically,
You think that's the thing? There's no way that one works.
alcoholically, look it up.
There's
While I'm
no
talking.
way alcoholically works. There's no. There's no way that one works.
speaking.
So, alcoholically speaking
speaking.
sounds actually great in a sentence, to be honest with you. So,
We all wear masks.
what?
Metaphorically
What is it saying?
Alcoholically is an adverb
Get
that
the
means
fuck out of here.
in an alcoholic manner.
There we go.
Nigga dances alcoholically. Oh damn! I was with this bitch last night, nigga. She was fucking alcoholically, nigga. Like she was
Alcoholically out of her mind.
okay.
So my dad at one point in time, like there would be issues with my dad and like drinking and domestic violence and stuff like that, and she would always call the cops on my dad. And so what the issue was is that a lot of times she was provoking these things, like she was doing this on purpose.
Yeah.
Like she would abuse my dad too, and then they would have their issue. So my dad started setting up a camera in the room.
Oh.
So when the cops would come and he'd be like, look, it wasn't just me. It was I didn't do anything. And so I remember one day he showed me a tape of him and his ex-wife, and they got into and they're arguing, and her titties are just sitting out. Like she has on pajama pants, and she's just topless with like a scarf on her head. And she's just sitting there, well, fuck you, James. You and them kids, they both so bad. I don't give a fuck about your kids. And her titties is just, he's like, you see what you saying to me, Keenan? I'm sitting there like, I was like, you might be wrong, Dad. Like, I'll be real with you. You might be, she might deserve to smack you on this one. But these,
because these titties is out, bro. You wrong.
I ain't gonna lie. I was not attracted to my dad's ex-wife. But she had some big ass titties. She has some big ass titties, nigga. She has some big ass titties, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. And then shit was like, what she's saying, because and on top of that, she's being animated. So she's sitting there doing this and like, and so you just see them just like just rolling, just hitting her in the neck, and just like they're going everywhere. And I'm just like, yo. And I remember I think YouTube might have just been a beginning. I said, and I didn't know YouTube's restrictions, but I was just like, Dad, you need to post this online. You need to post this online, bro. Like this is incredible. Low key, he might still have the tapes.
And your dad's in real Christ, like, look how she talked to me. And Keenan, like,
He was literally
titties,
pleading
bro.
this case, nigga. And I'm just sitting there like,
Why did he need you to be on his
He
side
didn't
at
say
that
anything?
point?
because you got to understand something. There was a point in time when me and my dad were at odds because of a lot of the violence that was going on.
yeah.
Like I wasn't on.
So
his
he was
side.
just trying to get you on his team, and you like, but titties, my nigga.
Yeah, because he showed me different videos at the time. He showed me like, hey, look at this one. Look what she did here. She stabbed me with a nail file. She did this and that. And then I'm sitting there like, damn, man, she crazy. And then when the titties came out, and I remember she said, she was like, you'll never suck on these titties again. I remember she did that, bro. Once she did that, I was just like,
Break, please. Dad, hold on. Hold that thought.
Wait,
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Hold that thought.
Wait, and
You'll never suck on these. I think she said you never suck on these fat ass titties again.
did they get back together?
we were still living together.
So he did.
So he definitely sucked the fat ass.
He probably did,
Thank
but
God.
like, thank God. One more time. But yeah, I mean that was
told me I wouldn't suck on these titties again.
low key. He might have that tape in the archive somewhere.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I would love to see it.
I would love to see it.
I would
Just
love to
for
see
the
it.
humor of it.
Yeah.
And because titties.
Well, yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Titties.
Titties were bad. I'm telling you. And this is a person that
What a
I
crazy way to connect with your
despised her
father.
too for a long time. We said.
So what an interesting way to connect with your father.
That's not what you said. You said with a crazy way.
Yeah, it is crazy. It is wild.
I mean,
I love how every time Keenan tells a
fucking
story,
wild.
Gary's always like, wait,
I'm like, what?
what?
But you gotta understand something. That wasn't just one. What do you want? My dad connected me with different ways, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he did his own porn.
He dressed as Santa Claus, man.
Yeah, he showed me a porn that he did. Like,
Such range.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of range.
My dad wasn't a sports nigga. He wasn't a hooper.
Oh, okay.
My dad was
That makes
my
sense.
dad wasn't trash at sports, but he wasn't like we beat him at an early age.
Yeah.
So it was just like that was over. So he's like, hey, well, fuck it, I can't bond with you niggas hooping, so let's
Yeah.
these bitches.
Yeah. These bitches.
My dad his superpower was girls. He knew how to get girls, and I watched my dad in action. I watched my dad Mac on plenty of occasions, and I'm talking about from ugly chicks to some of the baddest chicks you'll see. He got them all. He didn't care. He was just like, I'm trying to get that bush. What's up? That was his energy.
Wow.
So that's how he bonded with us. Was like
Trying to
with
show
the
you how
women.
to get girls. Do you feel like he was proud of like the work that y'all did? Like it's like, okay, yeah, I raised them right. They bringing home these bad ones. I love it.
Yeah, I think there was some.
I
Girl,
think every father feels that.
yeah, I think there was at a point in
Yeah.
time we was just like, he wanted to know we was smacking some skins, hitting some skins.
Yeah.
And then sometimes people like, hey, that nigga just cold, nigga.
Yeah, I think every
like that.
dad and uncle feels that. That's you?
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
blacks, that's your nephew. That I think everybody. I remember I had a girlfriend, and when I brought her home, my dad was like, "This,
Get that?
it's all right, my nigga." Like he
yeah.
gave me it's like, "Hey,
Yeah.
all right, good shit,
Yeah.
good shit." Which when you think about it as an adult, it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But also not weird because you can see like this is a pretty young lady. It doesn't have to be
Right.
disgusting.
Yeah.
And then my dad too, he'll be like, because a lot of times of course women over 18, but he'd be like, yo, hey nigga, she bad, nigga. What her mama look like? That was my dad's number one
Yeah.
saying. What her mama look like? He was big on what her mama looked like. So, I think my dad would have loved for us to have a father-son smash duo, like I'm smashing the daughter,
Like
and,
Birdman and Lil Wayne.
well, like if I smashed the daughter and my dad tried to have a threesome with me, so it's like if I smashed the daughter and he smashed the mother, he'd be like, nigga, nigga, that's a
Yeah.
great moment for us,
Fucking
nigga.
hit you with the.
Do you feel like the threesome was a effort that of him trying to apologize?
For all the other issues?
Yeah, for
No,
like
my dad was just a freaky ass nigga.
Freaky ass
That's
nigga,
what-
69. God.
100%. It was just
Yeah,
that.
I'm not that far, but I do understand the being proud of not your kids being a hoe or anything. And my dad actually told me not to be a hoe.
Yeah.
He was like, don't be out here like that. But I think when he just saw the inevitable, the writing on the wall, he was just like, all right, well, you know what I mean? Then it became a point where we're just like, are they nice looking? Are they, whatever. But yeah, he actually didn't want us to be out there like that. Mm-hmm. He was like, my dad was very, don't be like me.
Yeah.
Everything he did was don't be like me.
Cut your life short.
Don't drink. He didn't drink or smoke though. That wasn't his thing. He does now because we're bad influence on my parents. We blame
You
mom.
got both your parents drinking and smoking?
Yeah,
It's hilarious.
that wasn't their thing. My mom got a tattoo when she was 50 something,
It's hilarious.
and they like so they'll have.
son have any.
Mama
we'll
Kia, she smoke a little.
We'll give her edibles though.
Oh, edibles, okay.
We'll give her that, and then my dad drink regularly. My dad did not drink when I was a kid. Now my dad will drink, probably just for no reason, all the time.
Yeah, this nigga
And
bladder
that was
weak.
just, yeah, that was just us. You know what I mean,
I know he tried to hold it. He was like,
because he didn't have a father, bro.
I mean, he's absent just like his. Oh,
You know what I mean? Just leave.
Dude, you know what's funny?
Niggas without dads got weak batters, bro. That's a fact.
You know what's funny? I was thinking like, what if my mom was around for those years? How would my mentality even be with women at that time? And how would I react to certain things when my mom has stepped in and been like, you're not going to be doing this way. Or like, bruh, like, you need to do it like this. Because even though I I had my moments when I was wilding out. I was never crazy, so I was just like out here being like, "Hey, yo, bitch, get the fuck up out of here."
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I was never that dude, but it was just like, I was just like ghosting or something like that. I'd be like I don't want to talk to you no more. Like, I was just kind of more like,
I don't think it matters. And then when I say it doesn't matter, I mean, one, the relationship boys have with their mom versus their dad is always going to be different.
for sure.
And two, I remember my mom being like, treat young ladies this way and open doors and all that, right? And I'm like, yeah, but
They don't want to be treated that way.
and I did. I was a quote unquote
Nice guy.
nice guy in that sense.
Yeah.
Like, I did what I was supposed to do, but also I wasn't like, well, if you don't do this, we're not gonna talk anymore. I don't give a fuck. We ain't gotta talk no more. Like,
Yeah.
I'll open your door as you leave. Like, I don't care. Like, so it was.
I walk into your car, but you got to go.
Yeah, you still gotta leave. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I was definitely trying to be nice, and even the niceness I don't even think was genuine. Now that I'm looking back on it, I think my niceness was out of fear. I didn't want a rape charge. I didn't want, because you get in college and you hear and you have meetings about this shit. Gary probably attests when he comes out of the bathroom, but they'll tell you, like, whatever girls y'all sleep with her, make sure you walk her out. Make sure you guys are nice to her. Make sure, you know what I mean, like all that stuff, because a woman who's upset can be like, okay, well, you know what? Fine, you hit me, or you know what I mean, like. And so I think my gentleman stuff wasn't authentic.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was to save my own ass.
Yeah.
And just so I didn't want my car keyed. I didn't want, you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't want backlash. It's no hotel. They took it out. Napkins right there. Yeah, I just didn't want backlash.
Yeah.
Was the reason why I was nice enough to keep fucking, but I'm not your boyfriend. But also, I'm not trying to be mean.
Yeah.
But I didn't. It wasn't genuine at all.
I get that from like a sports and the athlete standpoint for sure. Just being like, all right, man, like, especially when we started to get to a certain point, we started to hear about those cases at that age.
Yeah.
And it was just like, whoa, I didn't know this was even a thing. I was like, well, because my thing was like, why would you lie? I was so nice to you.
Yeah.
But at a certain point in time, I was just like, even though I wasn't playing college ball like y'all, when we was out here in the streets going crazy, it was always that, hey, had a great night tonight. Hope you had a great night tonight too.
Text messages, all that.
Yep. Yeah, I loved hanging out with you. Hope we can hang out again.
Boom.
Hope we can too. Boom. Got it.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
That's all I need.
That's all I need. And it's just like you said, it was out of that fear. I remember I was actually it was one of the first white girl I ever messed with. And when she came over and she was like, yeah, my dad's a police officer. I was like, fuck. Like I was like nervous. I was just like,
he can cover stuff up.
I was like, I gotta make sure. And all she told me, she's like,
that's why you called her a white queen.
White goddess,
white queen.
And I just remember being like, man, I gotta make sure I do everything here correctly. And I got the time too. We're 1:15.
Okay.
I was just like, and I made sure I like I said, I wasn't a completely like disgusting guy like that, but I was just like, the only issue was that she did something to where she was just like, yo, she kind of wanted to be physically handled a certain way.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yo, like, I don't think I'm comfortable with that. She just like, fucking do it.
You did it, didn't you? Absolutely.
I wouldn't confirm or deny. But she wanted like her head slammed against the wall.
Oh, okay.
So like when she was on top, she wanted me to like.
So you had sex aggressively.
And so, consently.
Consently? There's no way consently works. There's no way that one works.
She consently said yes.
Hey, look it up, Gary. There's no way consently works. There's no way.
But she was just like she just said like she just likes being like physically mad. But I remember she said even like choked her. She's like, no, choke the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you are too fucking pale. Like I would leave marks on you
for a while too.
Yeah, and I was just like, and I remember it was just a light choke, and I was just like, I can't even do this. I was so afraid.
Consently doesn't work. Finally. Yes.
But that was like, and that too, especially her. On top of that, her being white and being like, and her dad being a cop, I was just like, So people probably ask me like, I know that I talk about white women a lot, like not my fear of white women, but like my disgust with some white women. It's just like,
Jesus.
I feel like, I said some, I didn't say all. I was like, I think it comes from like the history of that stuff too.
I get it.
Yeah, just like one of those like, hey man, I can't fully trust y'all. Y'all will just for your own safety, or not even for your own safety, for your own like, if your parents find out you're messing with a black guy and they don't want you and they're like, we're gonna cut you off now, you will lie since something happened to you. Yeah. And you're not even thinking about the consequences.
You'll throw me under the bus for that inheritance for sure.
For 1,000,000%.
For sure.
I wouldn't throw somebody.
Shout out to the interracial couples from back in the day who said, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, so what?
Would have never been me.
It's not me, nigga. Absolutely not.
Do you respect the interracial couples now? There ain't no.
No, now they just
ain't no risk.
No. For back in the day, it went way more.
Yeah.
Way more.
Niggas would throw rocks at you.
Now people just fucking their options.
Yeah.
Back in the day, that was real. They meant that shit. That was real love. Like, we're willing to die over this.
Yeah.
That's a different kind of bond than today.
Yeah.
That's why Dr. Umar mad. He's just like, you just doing this just because you could.
Yeah.
you ain't risking this for.
There's so many couples now that would not be together if they were back in the day. Absolutely not.
Nah,
they just
only white women like you, bro. That's why you're doing this. You're like,
yeah. It's you fucking your options. People fuck their options,
hey, that's most people.
and everybody's
That's not
doing
wrong.
it.
That's not wrong.
It's not. Everybody's
I
fucking their
mean,
options.
what are you gonna fuck non-options?
Well, that's not consensual.
That's not
that's
consensual. Consently, right?
That's not consensual.
Yeah.
But it's the same reason why you'll see a lot of times a white girl with a fat ass, like that's not like super thick, and you'll talk to them and be like, yeah, only black guys hit on me, or like black or Hispanic guys talk to me mainly, and a lot of white guys don't talk to me.
Yeah.
And you go, okay, those are her options. And she's like, I probably would love to date Jason, that's the quarterback, but he don't like fat asses. So it's just like, I'm gonna date Marcus.
I wonder what that's like now. Now that everybody likes fat asses.
And now that all the asses are fat.
Yeah, I wonder if the dynamic has changed.
Money.
You know what I mean?
Because it's like I do see like these football players, these white football players, and you can tell that their wife got their body done, their ass done specifically.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay.
And what if white dudes always wanted a fat ass? They were just fucking their options. What if they always liked it? What if they were just like, we didn't know we could have all this? like what if we didn't know? We didn't know that this was.
But do you think they like certain type of fat asses? Because it seems like they like their fat booties on their white girls that are petite. Not thick.
Yeah, well,
more
black
round.
men definitely like bigger girls.
More round.
for sure.
Like that.
Yeah, it's just like
Rather
a
than
slim girl with a small ass waist with a cute
Track.
booty.
Like a track butt.
Yeah. Because there are a lot of dudes still who like dimples and stretch marks. They're like ill, and I'm like, nigga, I'm here for it.
They're black?
I don't know.
Yeah, I never heard a black guy go. I never heard a black guy go ill.
Well, I don't hear a lot of men in general go ill. I just said that for he's fucking liar. Oh, how we got on this conversation was he's talking about having a mom and her influence on how you view women and how you dated women. And I
especially
said
in my household when you told my dad.
it doesn't matter or not.
Absolutely.
You feel me? And I said it didn't. My mom having my mom in my life just made me be a gentleman. And then we got into the topic of I was only a gentleman for self-benefit, just so I didn't get in trouble. So what do you think?
My mom had a great, like a huge impact on
Negative or positive?
It's just an impact. Just given who she was and what she kind of represented, and I think because her personality was so big, and she was so she could be harsh, she could be, yeah. I just in my mind I was just always like I don't want to be with someone who's like my mom. Like I love my mom for my mom, but I would never date someone if they act
those
the way
traits
that
or
my
whatever?
mom acts. Yeah. So I always wanted like a girl who was a little more reserved, a little more quiet, just a little because I have like triggers in myself and shit in me, like enrage inside of me. So I wanted to make sure that I was with someone who wouldn't like test that and ignite that.
So self-preservation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's good that you knew that about yourself, because it's like if you dated a girl that was like that had that type of energy, do you think you would have? When do you think you'd be in jail?
I mean, who knows? Like, who knows? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I could sit here and say, no, I would have never. I would have, but like, you never know.
Yeah.
Like, you never know. I have a lot of fucking like real ass like rage inside of me, like.
Yeah,
And thankfully I can articulate myself in a way to where I can like just use my words and defend myself, or if I want to like, if I want to truly be hostile and fucking like and really like tear into you. I can do that with my words without name calling. I can do it in a real way, in a way that's like that it's really damaging and really hurtful. So I don't need to resort to like anything
Physical,
else. But you know, I know there's people out there who aren't equipped like that.
Yeah.
But I don't want that to come out of me either. So I don't want anybody to like poke and prod at that to like pull that out.
That's
of
fair.
me.
I mean, that's fair. You got to know yourself.
Yeah.
You pick your partner based on yourself. I mean, I think that's just smart to just like, honestly, like, love overrated. And when I say that, what I mean is as far as a decision maker. Like, people need to make better decisions with their partners. Like, okay, you love this person. That's great. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Great. But is this person going to work for who you are?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and especially for people who fall in love multiple times. So if you know that you can fall in love multiple times, why don't you try finding somebody that fits who you are and what you need, and based on your childhood and based on, you know, there's certain, like, I knew there was certain stuff I couldn't deal with because I was like, I wasn't, and I was like the opposite, where it was like, because I grew up in a house that was pretty chill, this is what I want.
Yeah.
So I can't when I would watch other shit, and I'm like, oh no, I can't do that. Like, that's not.
Yeah.
And I never want to be pushed out of my, and I don't even have rage like that inside me, but if you get me there, that's not good for anybody because I'm so reserved.
Yeah.
So if you're able to put me there, then now I don't know what I'm going to do because now I'm out of control. I'm usually always in control. So if I lose control,
which is why
I don't know.
I'm so unbothered. Because I know when I do lose control. So my counter to that is like, I'm just not bothered by anything.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot, you know?
Yeah. I look at it like when you even talk about the, like, even from the mother aspect, it's like there's some triggers from a substance abuse thing where it's just like I was dating a girl and it's like I even though I love them, I was just like I can't be with somebody that is using all these substances, and I'm just like, I know what that's making me feel and what that looks like and what the path is going to go down. I was just like, I've seen this with a parent before, with both parents, to be honest with you. And I'm just like, bro, I'm not about to put myself through this because, you know,
like, love be damned. This is not good for me.
Yeah, it's just like, and it's just like, it don't matter what love is at this point. It's just like you're going to possibly get me put in jail because of some of the things that you're doing. And I'm going to have to either bail you out or I'm going to have to like defend you because you're doing some reckless stuff. I was just like, I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah.
So
love, I'm like, a lot of people fall in love and then relationships don't work.
Yes, and I agree. I think love is, I think people use love as their reasoning for like staying with somebody that they shouldn't stay with for that long, or like for relationships and marriage. I think it's just literally just a part of it.
It's a part. It's very important.
It's important, but it's just a part of it.
But it's a part, and people act like
it's the only thing.
The end all be all. It's like,
not.
No, it's a part.
Yeah.
It's you still got to make good decisions. You still got to weigh options. You still got to assess situations. Like, love is a reason. Like you say, people use it to stay. I think that is a reason to stay. However, it's like we got to still do work. We still, if that ain't working, then it don't matter how much I got to go.
Yeah.
And so it's like, love is what's making you stay. Love is what's making you even want to do the work.
I mean, you think about love when it comes to anything. We love what we do as comedians, but it's like, if we want to be great, we got to work at it.
Yeah.
We got to do different things. So it's just like, you can't just
it's
love.
Not enough.
It's just not enough. It's just, you have to do multiple things.
I think it's different, and it depends on your age. I think it greatly depends on your age.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're in your 50s, you know what I'm saying, late 40s, in your 50s, 60s, like, your options are far more limited. So the situation as it stands may be more like beneficial than trying to like restart. But then that's also the risk that you take. Like, oh, maybe I can restart and have like a happier, you know, tail end of my life or whatever. But it is really fucking complicated because there's also like, okay, where do you draw the line? You know, am I drawing the line too soon? Should I give him a chance? Should I give her a chance?
That's
or am I just like in and out of shit? Like, nope, that didn't work. I don't like the way you know.
Yeah.
I don't like that lifestyle for you. Like, people, you know.
Some people do jump too fast.
Yeah, it's like evolve, kind of grow together.
But also,
work.
it's most of it. It's your self shit. If you do your self growth, everything else pretty much falls into place.
Yeah.
If you work on your shit, and first of all, be cognizant of your shit, aware of your shit. You know, look in that mirror. If you get that figured out, most things in your life, not just relationship, most things kind of Like if you acknowledge, hey, I'm lazy, and that makes you work a little harder, or hey, don't do that, I'm a procrastinator, whatever it is that your shit is, or I'm quick to anger. Maybe let me work on that, and you'll see how every facet of your life starts to play better just because you did this. Like if I would have had, that's why I hate excuses and blame and lack of accountability, because you don't get better if you don't work. You can't. Like if everything else is fault, you can't get better. So now you're stuck. So this is just like, well, this is what it is, and then you accept that because working on yourself is hard.
Yeah.
Working on yourself is hard as fuck.
It is, but then there's also a certain level of acceptance and understanding to a point where you try to twist that truth and make it so you can actually be happy in the moment.
Like what?
If like if you're like, I want to do better. Like, okay, let's say we can just use something simple like weight, for instance. You know what I'm saying? Like, your goal is like, I wish I had the work ethic. I wish I could to get to this goal weight. But if I can't do it now or whatever, for whatever reason, I still need to be happy in the present. Okay. I still need to find a way to be happy right now.
Okay.
Rather than just have my happiness rest in the hands of whether or not I can lose this weight.
Well, no, I don't think it should rest in that. But so let's say you're having a problem doing it, then you need to identify what's the problem. Is it discipline? Is it your surroundings? Is it, like, for me, I know I can't do, nigga, if there's candy in the house, I'm going to eat it. So I don't buy it. Like I'm doing preventative steps way before I get to here, because once I get here, it's over. It's a wrap. Like it's a wrap for me. So just staying on that example, it's like that kind of stuff. If people be like, oh, I don't have time to cook. Well, that's why people meal prep. That's like, there's so many steps before you get to the problem. Yeah. That I feel like if you make those tiny steps, those tiny adjustments, then again, things fall into place. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So even, let's say, arguing with a spouse, if you know this is where I get mad, or this is not a good time to talk, over time you learn, I'm not gonna talk to you right now. Let me talk to you here, so we don't get here, and it's just, so I feel like, but you have to be, and like you said, maybe it's easier said than done because it's what we do for a living. You have to be in your brain about, it has to be a conscious effort to improve. You know what I mean? Sure. Like, and
it's hard because a lot of things you're asking such a great shift. Like, there's such a great shift in your routine, and people are pretty regimented in sort of their routine, and it's hard to like pivot from that and do this other thing that kind of upends a whole bunch of like other shit. Like, oh, I'm doing this now, so I can't do this, and this, and this. Like, and it's like, damn, that's too much change.
Hard. People don't like
too
hard.
much change.
Yeah, change is hard. Everything people don't want to do anything hard, and I get it, but to me, everything worth having is hard.
Yeah. There's a good book called Atomic Habits. And it's like, it talks about just, creating and breaking.
Is that where you learned that word?
What, caloric?
Yeah.
Calorically?
But, it talks about the stuff what y'all talking about. It's just like, like you said, a lot of things is what Keon kind of said. It's like doing these preventative things or doing the little steps first. You don't got to go out. Like, some people, what happens is, too, they try to start too big.
Yeah. Or they want it now. So
it's just like, they talk about, if you're talking about specifically, you're talking about weight or whatever the case may be. It's just like, bro, you don't have to jump out the window.
Yeah, I'm going vegan. No, you're not.
It's just
like relax.
You know what? Just cut one thing first.
Yeah.
Cut soda out, bro. Yeah. It's like, it's cool. And then go from there. You might actually cut some weight if you cut fucking sugars.
Right.
And it's like, not sugar, but it's like juice and soda off.
Just try that. Just try that. Try that for a month. See how that goes.
Yeah, you be like, okay, I can see my chin. I can see my neck. Cool. Let me go to the next thing and then go from there. It's just like, that's the thing. I think people go far left, and it's just like, that's why I can't do it. It's too hard.
All the change now, and
they want the change, but they also want community too. So you imagine in scenarios like that, they're in a community that kind of lives a similar lifestyle. Like, you think about drug addicts, who people are trying to like kick drugs. Yeah. All their friends are users. Yeah. All their friends, you know what I'm saying? Their community is that. Yeah. So it's like, how do I eliminate this from my life, but then also still like have my fucking community?
Right.
Because we're all very tribal, like people.
That I think that takes
true.
a different type of strength. It's like, even when my dad got sober, it was just like, he was still around alcohol, and there'll be times I'll be like, I didn't like people being around. They're gonna get a drink. Like, can I get a glass of wine? I used to be like, bitch, what the.
Yeah.
This nigga, come on. He's only 2 years in, too.
Right.
So it's like, you're right. It's like when you with that particular case, it's like that's why I'm kind of glad that like when it comes to even the people that I hang out with, it's just like if cats do something, they might dabble on an occasion or a special event. But for the most part, my friends don't go heavy on a lot of stuff.
Right.
So if I'm hanging out with them, I don't really at this age I'm not falling to peer pressure anyways.
Right.
But it's just like there is no peer pressure they even try to almost fall into because of that.
Well,
But that's because your community was never that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
For sure.
If
But
you're-
I also was around a community, or I could have aligned myself with those communities because I had friends also in those communities, and I was just like, I don't really like I said, the stuff that I saw growing up was just like.
So you stepped away from like,
It
for
was
example,
just
we all had
organically.
good friends growing
Yeah.
up, right?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not there.
Yeah.
I'm not. So I'm gonna go over here.
And
I'm just not
every
there.
once in a while, I know y'all like to hoop sometimes. We hooping over here. We can hit y'all up, call y'all. But it's like, I can't daily kick it with y'all anymore because I'm not on that type of time. So
But that's hard too. But it is what it is.
But I mean,
it takes a lot. It takes
takes
a
a
lot.
lot.
And I could say I lost good friends. I don't
Yeah.
know if they were good friends or not. But it's just like at the time, I feel like they were these like
We'll never
man,
know.
they could have been great friends, but it could have been like, yo, some
But
of
you
these
also
people,
could have been at a lot more funerals.
Yep.
I mean,
You
some of
never-
them didn't make it. Some of them are in jail. It's just like it's
But
like
what has made it?
Just being able.
I mean,
to
when I
do
say
this.
make it, I mean alive. Nigga.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
who knows?
death.
Did we make it? Did we make
death.
it?
Nah, I feel you.
I mean, here today.
I'm with you.
I mean,
Yeah,
we had an hour and 30.
Maybe they made it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shit.
Yeah, they make
To
it.
heaven?
They
I
make
don't
it.
think so.
Wine in the
What
toilet
they
is what they
did.
making.
Shoot.
But yeah, you just gotta. But to me, and it could be a sports thing, and then we'll wrap it up. But to me, I guess because everything I do, I see rewards for hard work or
Yeah.
change. So it's just like I know it's gonna be worth it. It might not hit now. It might not, whether it's self growth, whether it's career, whether it's relationship, it might not hit now. But I know if I make these changes, it's gonna pay off. And I think that belief that it's gonna pay off is half the battle. Like it's gonna be worth it. Just hang in there. Like just hang in there. Just keep at it. Like you said, a little bit by a little bit, and it's gonna pay off. But it might be easy for me to think like that because of the sports.
Yeah.
Because I've seen my wins.
I love that you can have that mindset. I struggle kind of developing that mindset. It's hard for me to associate sports with like real life stuff now. Like my experience in sports, it's a little more difficult for me to like, because now I know that the time is so fucking precious, and like I have to be very intentional about how I spend my time, how I allocate my time, and what's actually important and what is actually meaningful. I could do this, and this, but everything now at this age comes with a sacrifice.
Yeah.
I can do that, but now I'm sacrificing time with my family, or I'm sacrificing time with, and then it's like, I can do this in lieu, of spending time with family, and I have greater pursuits, and because I want to achieve this goal. I want to achieve this goal, and then you get that goal, and then that goal isn't as fulfilling as you thought it would be, and then you achieve great success later in life, but now I'm fucking old and my body's breaking down.
I didn't
It's like I didn't even
I
get
wanted
the,
to pop bottles with the.
I'm ready to pop bottles, yo. Nigga, you're 67, but I'm ready now. I'm in the, I'm ready to
67.
buy the clubs. Like,
It is a hard balance. I think I will say it was easier to do when we were younger because that was our only focus.
Yeah.
I have a lot of focuses now. My focus then was just get here. Just get here. So it's easy to focus on that one thing. Now that I got to balance a lot more things. Yeah. If I was single and it was just nigga, I'd be famous already. I'd be famous already because I'd have nothing else to do. But my dumb ass is doing stuff like coaching my son's team for 3 months, and now I'm like, how am I going to recoup this money that I'm not going to make for 3 fucking months?
Man.
And then so I told them the other day, I was like, after your basketball season, y'all not going to see me. I have to go make all this money back. Because I'm not going to make anything because I'm coaching your team, which I'm not going to regret. These are great moments and it's dope.
Yeah, amazing moments.
But after this, I'm out, bro. Like I'll see y'all when I see you because I gotta go make money. And so then it becomes a sacrifice thing. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna eat these 3. I'm gonna take what I can. Like I missed his last game because I went and took a gig. And I was like, all right, I'm not gonna miss any more. And then now I'm kind of hoping my team sucks so we don't make the playoffs. And then I can go, take this whatever. And I'm just like, all right. So now I've been doing a lot more local gigs, and then I've been doing a lot more social media stuff to make. Like I'm gonna find it.
It's about finding it, figuring it out.
And I think that actually when you do that kind of stuff, it forces you into different avenues that you didn't even see you were gonna do, and then you're like, actually, this is cool over here too, and this is, but it's just all from wanting to work more, like just all trying to get better will force you into stuff you need to see coming. Yeah, and so that's why I just believe in just always just keep going. You don't know what's gonna happen, but I do know it's gonna work out. Yeah, like that much I do know. Absolutely. So that's just my mindset. It's like I'm not gonna fail
unless you OD tonight.
On what? I don't take anything. I don't know how to hog time, people. I don't know how to hog time myself.
Pussy edges.
That'd be a great way to go. I hope. I would love to die like that.
On his tombstone,
he died for them edges. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I'm nowhere, as I just stated. I have no gigs on the road. Oh, no, that's not true. I'm in Manteca because this is gonna be current.
It's
right?
a drop next week.
Yeah. I'm in Manteca at Def Puppy 27th and 28th.
Where the hell is that at?
4 shows in Manteca, California.
Manteca.
Oh, I know.
It's a new club.
Yeah. Okay. But Manteca is where if you from the water slides was real big over there. That's where everybody would go for the summers. So yeah, I'm there the 27th and 28th. 4 shows. Get your tickets for that if you're in the area.
I'm headlining San Francisco Punchline.
Yeah, so
January 7th. So that's on a Tuesday. I'll be headlining that at 7:30. Please get tickets to that. And then the weekend before that, the 2nd through the 4th, I'll be featuring at the Punchline. If you can't make the Tuesday show, but I prefer everybody to please
go to the Tuesday show.
Please pull up to the Tuesday show
because he's featuring on other, but the Tuesday is his show. He's doing an hour. It's his show. It's his money. It's his.
That's where
the
big bucks
go.
That's where the big bucks
I know a lot of y'all try to 2-for-1 it. A lot of times when you see us out with people, and I can see this and that, but our shows where we're headlining mean way more.
Means so much more.
Way more.
And then I'm doing my solo show, Clouded, on February 18th at Lyric Hyperion.
Oh, doing another one?
Yeah, I'm doing another
Same
one.
set or different?
Cleaned it up?
It's going to be revised.
Okay.
It's a revision.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that as well.
Yeah.
Try to stop looking for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me look at. I got nothing. So see you guys.
Yeah. Let me check my phone pilot.
He's got new words for you next week.
Like